Good afternoon, it's recipe time. When I was in Disney last week, we had dinner at one of the Mexican restaurants in Epcot. I think it's called La Hacienda De Angela? I don't know. There's two Mexican restaurants that are sit down. One is inside the big Aztec tower and the other one is outside. So we ate at the one that was outside, and the appetizer was this cream of corn soup that I absolutely loved. So I looked online to see if I could find the recipe. I couldn't find the exact recipe, but there are lots of Mexican cream corn soups, and so I found one that was, I hope is the right one. It's I found it on this website called theothersideoftortilla.com. It's called Crema De Elote. So listen, I'm terrible at pronunciations, so don't make fun of me too bad if I'm pronouncing anything wrong. So this is Crema De Elote, and I just got back from the grocery store. I'm gonna have to make some substitutions. I couldn't find exactly everything on the list, so we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I am going to make cream corn soup for lunch. All right, here is the ingredients. Frozen corn, got that. Chicken broth, I already had that in my fridge from a couple weeks ago, so that's still good. Milk, whole milk. I always have whole milk because you never know when you need a bowl of cereal. A 1/4 inch slice of a white onion. I have, this is kind of a yellow, but it's a light yellow. It's gonna work. Salt, Messica instant corn flour. I actually happen to have this from a different recipe I used last month, so that's perfect. Since, like, seriously, I have this whole bag. The recipe last month didn't require much, so I'm glad I'm getting some use out of that. 3 tablespoons crema mexicana. I could not find that. I do not know what that is. I'm gonna assume it's some kind of like Mexican sour cream. So I am substituting cream fraiche. This is a French style cultured cream. I don't know. Hopefully that works. My husband says it should work, so we'll go with that. 1 medium poblano chili that we have to roast ourselves. I have an electric stove. No, I'm not roasting a poblano chili. So I just got a can of green chilies. These are to garnish the top of the soup, so this will work just fine. And then the optional tablespoon grated queso, some kind of cheese. I found this fresco cheese, so I'm gonna crumble that up and put a little on the top. So yeah, a couple things I couldn't figure out. Oh, and then when we had it at Epcot, they had put some sliced tortilla chips on the top. So yes, I am so excited. I found this bag of tortilla strips at our grocery store. Next to the salad dressings, they had all kinds of bags of like different salad toppings. I've never noticed it before. I ended up getting like a bunch of croutons and some fried jalapenos. It was just crazy, all these toppings. So I was very happy they had that. So the first step is roasted poblano, which again, we are skipping that step. And then the next step is spread the frozen corn on parchment paper and put under the broiler for 10 to 12 minutes. So that's 3 1/4 frozen corn. So corn should start to roast but should not completely brown. Remove from broiler and allow 5 minutes to cool. So we have to put our corn in the broiler. So let me start with that. The corn is in the broiler, and so after the corn is done, we're going to blend 3 cups of corn and with 1 1/2 cup milk, 1 1/2 cup chicken stock, and then the onion, which is like the worst measurement ever, 1/4 inch slice of a large white onion. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. So I cut up some onion. Hopefully this isn't too much. So put that in there, and then add the 3 cups of corn. So remember, we roasted 3 1/4 cups frozen. They want you to take the 1/4 cup and put it to the side to garnish. So let me show you the roasted corn, and then I will add that, and then it's all going into the blender until it is smooth. Where does it say that? And run on high until completely smooth. All right, this is what the roasted corn looks like. I am going to put some aside for the garnish and put the rest in the blender, and hopefully it blends well together. I think I blended it pretty smoothly. It looks pretty smooth. So now we transfer it to a saucepan and then cook over medium heat for 5 to 7 minutes. And while it's cooking, we're supposed to whisk in 1/4 cup of that Mexican corn flour. So let me do that. 5 to 7 minutes on medium heat. All right, the soup is done. I have it right here. And so when they served the soup to us in the Mexican restaurant, they had the bowl. It already had corn at the bottom. So there was like just a small pile of corn. And then they had some tortilla strips. So put a couple down at the bottom. And then they had, the soup was in a white pitcher, and then they just poured it over it. This is what I'm gonna do right here. Their soup was not yellow, it was more white, so they had to have used a different cream. I don't know, mine's definitely yellow. And then I'm going to put, this is the creme fraiche, which is I'm substituting for the recipe calls for a crema mexicana, which I'm assuming is a Mexican sour cream. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me and put that on top. Just a little, I really like cream. This creme fraiche is good. I've had creme fraiche a lot before. And then I got this Mexican cheese that I'm also going to crumble at the top. It's supposed to be a crumbling cheese. Oh yeah, that's crumbling. And then I want it to be a little spicy. So since I did not use the poblano chilies, I just have a mild chili. I'm just going to do a little scoop on top. So there we go. There is my Mexican corn soup. All right, time for the taste test. I am stirring it up a little, get that creme fraiche intermingled a little. And then let's try some. Sorry, that sun is glaring. It's pretty good. It's definitely not as good as that Mexican restaurant. What would I do differently? Maybe do some kind of different cream. The recipe called for whole milk, but at the Mexican restaurant, the soup was definitely more white than yellow. So that was a good bite. I had some of that queso fresco in that bite. That was really, really good. It was good. Don't get me wrong, I would definitely make this again, but I need to figure out what cream I need to use. I used the recipe called for whole milk. I just feel like it needs to be a little more creamier. And also the 1/4 Mexican flour, that's to like thicken the soup. It's kind of, I can taste the flour, so I think next time I would use cornstarch instead of that flour to thicken it up a little. That Mexican flour was very grainy, so it makes the soup a little grainy, but I don't know. Good first attempt. So it is good though. I like it. I'm gonna finish my bowl of soup right now. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will link the website down below if you're interested in trying this recipe yourself.